Hey guys, welcome back to the Man Family. So today's video is going to be, I guess you can say it's going to be a very raw, possibly emotional one. So if you guys have been following along baby number 3's pregnancy journey, my pregnancy journey, then you guys do know, when was that? That was at 12 weeks pregnant, right? So currently I am 16 weeks pregnant and a few days, but around 12 weeks we found out some devastating news. Our baby does have two very rare disorders. One is, how do you pronounce it, babe?
Holoprosencephaly.
Holoprosencephaly.
Yeah.
So HPE is the abbreviation, so I'm just gonna call it that from here on out. So HPE is one of the disorders, and then the other disorder is trisomy 13.
Yeah.
Right? Basically, the two disorders have a very high rate of not being compatible with life. So it's a pretty devastating diagnosis. So I've talked about it on my channel, and I've sat down and kind of explained to you guys about how I'm feeling about things, but my husband here, Benny, hasn't really explained his side just because he wasn't ready to talk about it yet. But now he's more comfortable with it, and we've both just kind of, processed things more. So today we're gonna go over everything. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. You ready?
You want me to start off with my opinion on it?
How you're feeling? So you want to just start with the questions, and then if there's still anything left to be said, then you can say it after. Yeah. So that way you don't repeat yourself if it's in one of the questions. You get me?
Yeah.
First question is, what made you go through the pregnancy when you knew the outcome?
I think for me, at first I was against it. I know it's kind of weird to hear, but for me it was shocking to hear that, my third baby wasn't really gonna have a chance at a normal life. And I mean, I know there's parents out there that have it where, any life is better than no life type thing. But the way I see it is, I didn't want to bring a baby into the world that was going to be suffering. So at first, I didn't really look at it as... At first, that was my baby. That I thought about all this stuff. But then when we got the news about, the non-compatible with life, it just hurt.
Just everything is all the plans that you had for the future and all the thought of what you thought it would be, is just it gets pulled from you instantly.
Yeah, that any joy of the pregnancy was kind of just crushed and taken away from me. It was a big fat smack in the face, and it wasn't really fair on my part, and it wasn't fair to either of us or the baby, But the way at first the way I looked at it was, it'd be better off, probably terminating the pregnancy and, saving my feelings and just not seeing the baby that way. But as time went on and me and Brittany talked about it, the more I became more aware, and I started reading the Bible again, because I grew up religious, but I kind of had a shortfall, and I haven't really been as religious as I should be. So I started reading the Bible again and started trying to just pray and see and ask why did this happen to us? What have we done so wrong? I might not have had the greatest relationship with God. I don't know how any of you feel in religion, but personally, I'm Christian, so.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching and you don't believe in God, that is 100% okay. We're not pushing our beliefs on you guys, and it shouldn't be, vice versa. So if you guys have different opinions or different views, that's totally okay. But just keep in mind to just keep, the comments and everything just positive.
And then just keep an open ear. Like she said, we're not forcing anything on you, but just try to understand it from our point of view too. So yeah, like I was saying, is I started praying, asking God, and trying to see, what have I done wrong in my life? And I started reading the Bible, and I started coming across the book of Job. It made me realize that, this baby, even though our child isn't probably gonna live after the baby's born, it's still a life that we need to cherish. God still blessed us with this pregnancy, even if some of us don't look at it that way.
Yeah, there's just so many women who haven't even been able to conceive, and we have, and that's a blessing in itself, because there's so many women that don't get a chance to be a mother. And the way I see it is, Even if this baby won't be on earth with us, I'll still be this baby's mother.
The reason why we still considered to go on with the pregnancy is just so that we can have whatever time we have with this baby, even if it's only inside, Brittany's stomach. And if that's all we get to have, those moments that we have is just feeling the baby kick or feeling the baby move around. That's all that matters to us right now. And we want to just take whatever time we have and, count it as a blessing. Hope that answers your first question.
I'm already crying on the first question. What is your biggest fear about it? You are very strong. Thank you. Going through that loss is my biggest fear, because you can never truly prepare for something like that. I don't think you'll ever truly know how you'll deal with loss until you're going through it.
My biggest fear is that something can happen to Brittany. Doctor said there's like a very, very tiny chance that there's could be swelling in the baby, and that'll lead into like Brittany starting to swell, and that could be really bad if she starts to swell.
And I think that was actually one of the questions. Is there any harm for me to continue with the pregnancy? And the way our doctor explained it is, he kind of touched on it right now, is there's this, it's like very, very rare, but I believe the name of it was like Muir syndrome.
But yeah,
it's basically when the mom's health kind of mimics the baby's health. Like I said, it's very rare. There's no reason for concern right now on my health. Everything seems to be good, but they are monitoring me just in case. They do check up on me as well as the baby every single time I do go in. Do you guys plan on waiting before trying to conceive again?
Yeah, I think we both agreed that.
I think we would just need time to grieve, time to heal, and then obviously my body would need time too, because that's still going through a birth, so, and still going through postpartum and all that stuff. So.
And I don't want to put that on Layla either, because she's young right now, but she understands a lot, and I don't want her to be grieving through this loss and then trying to be happy for the next pregnancy if we were to get pregnant right after.
There's also no real timeline that we can put on it, because again, like I said, you don't really know how you'll deal with loss. We don't know how long we're gonna need to grieve. We don't know how long it's gonna take us to heal from this. So it's kind of hard to, put it on a timeline, but I definitely think we're gonna wait.
Yeah.
Do you believe God can make your baby healthy? God can perform miracles, but I also know that God doesn't perform a miracle every single time. God doesn't always heal every single sick person. So a part of me is still holding on to that hope, but I'm also very aware of how things seem, because it's not also just the way our results from our test came back. It's also very visible on our ultrasound.
I think what she's mainly trying to say is that no matter what, we're always praying for a miracle.
Yeah.
And hoping for the best, but we're prepared for whatever comes next. Exactly. Or at least we're trying to prepare. So I mean, do I believe God can create miracles? Yes, I do. But does it, like she said, it doesn't happen every time, and God has a plan for us, and whatever reason He chose for us to go through this, the Bible also says that He'll never put us through anything we can't handle. So He's testing us and testing our will and our strength and our beliefs, and it's just another thing that we have to overcome. I'm not gonna forsake this baby because I still love this baby.
I was smiling right now because he accidentally slipped what we were having, so I don't want you guys to think I was laughing at his answer or anything.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah, I edited that. They say everything happens for a reason. Do you believe this is for a reason?
I kind of answered that. I think
we don't really know the reason now.
Yeah, but God has a plan for us, and whatever it is, we'll find out when we find out.
What did your parents and Benny's parents say about baby number 3's sonograms? I guess what did our parents say about the baby's diagnosis?
My mom, she's the one that helped me become a Christian, but when she kind of fell out of the church, I kind of fell out of the church type thing. But she's still really religious, and she still believes in God. Basically, she told me kind of the same thing, everything happens for a reason. She cried a lot on the phone with me. But she kept telling me, sorry, this is happening and everything like that. Kept telling me just, pray and pray and just hope that everything gets better. It hurts her as a grandmother as well, even though she might not be having this baby, it's still like one of her babies. It's like Layla and Aurora are. And when I called my dad, it's so weird to think that my dad is religious. You know, mijo, don't worry about it, that God has a plan for you and your wife and your other two girls, that whatever his decision is, that we'll make it through to the other side of this dark tunnel, and just keep praying and keep staying strong, and you know that he'll pray for us and that God has our back even if it doesn't feel like it right now. So.
As for my parents, I don't really talk to my dad anymore. I'm sure he's aware because I am, you know, very open on social media. As far as my mom has been very supportive because she's gone through something similar during her first pregnancy. She knows the emotions that I'm feeling. She knows the hard decisions. So she's been walking me through every single step. She's been giving me, you know, her thoughts, her feelings. And it's been very helpful. So we have support on both sides.
Yeah.
Has this situation made you re-examine or have a different view on the meaning of life? I say 100%.
Yeah, I think so. I think having healthy pregnancies the first 2 times for granted.
Yeah.
And it was more like, you know, that can't happen to me.
Yeah, you really honestly never think something like this can ever happen to you.
Especially with the 2 healthy babies that we've had before. It's just, we weren't expecting it whenever we took the test. We kind of just took it just in case type. It was more, yeah, we probably don't need to, but let's just do it anyways type thing, and ended up telling us the results that we got. It was really shocking, and it wasn't really something we expected and we planned for. I think we really talked about either until the situation did arise. Look at every day as a blessing, and look at life as something you shouldn't throw away. It's something you shouldn't take for granted, because tomorrow isn't promised to you.
Do you feel a resentment towards happiness?
I think at first we did. At first it really hurt, and I wanted to be angry at the world, and I wanted to be angry at everybody, even though it was nobody's fault. There's no reason, like there's nothing that we did, there's nothing that anybody did for this to happen to us, and it was unfair. And for a good while I was mad at everybody, and you know, in some ways I still am, but I've come to peace with it and I've accepted it, but I'm still angry with it. But I still want to be happy, not only for the baby's sake, but for the girls, like all 3 of them, and for everybody around me at work. I know that if this baby was here, they would hate for me to feel that way.
I think it's so easy to just blame yourself too. I mean, obviously I try not to, because it's nothing we did that caused this, but it's so easy to, you know, be like, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Like, why do, you know, all these other women have healthy babies and then, you know, they harm them? And it's like so easy to, you know, ask yourself all of these questions, and it's so easy to have like resentment and just be angry because you don't know why this happened.
If we waste our time being angry, then we're never gonna really fully enjoy this life that we have right now.
Exactly. Do you dream about your baby already? Have you had any dreams about the baby?
Yeah, but I mean, not any scary ones. I had a dream that it was a baby boy. I've had a dream that it was a baby girl. In each one, the baby comes out beautiful and perfect.
I've had dreams when I was pregnant with Layla. I had dreams when I was pregnant with Aurora, and I both dreamt of like giving birth to them and like holding them. And my dream was so vivid. I was correct on the way they looked and like their features and everything, but I haven't had a dream for this baby. It's kind of sad. Are you both still in shock after hearing the rare genetic disorder your little baby has? I'd say no. I'd say the shock has worn off. We're kind of just processing everything now. Is that type of situation rare? Was there any cost to it?
I think we've answered that one already. Both of those are rare.
Yeah, like both of them separate are very, very rare. I don't remember the exact like numbers for how rare they are, but definitely not common. So it's kind of crazy how we got 2 extremely rare disorders.
But there's nothing that really causes it, as far as the doctors told us. It kind of just happened. It's
something that happened within the first few weeks of the baby developing. Like he said, there's nothing specifically that caused it, so there's nothing that we did, there's nothing that I could have done to prevent this from happening.
And also, so you guys know, we're making sure that she's not eating all that crazy sushi. And even when she does drink 1 cup of coffee a day, she barely even finishes it. Or she only takes like 2 sips about it. I just had to throw that in there just to let you guys know, because some of the comments that we've gotten are disrespectful. And I understand you guys are looking out for her and her health. But don't worry, like it's not our first rodeo. So... And I'm making sure that she's not going over any limits either, because even though this, what our situation is, I'm still treating it like a normal pregnancy.
Exactly. So. Like, even though our baby is considered incompatible with life, I still would never do anything to cause this baby harm. I'm treating this pregnancy as I would with my others. So I'm still taking my prenatals. I'm still very cautious of what I'm intaking. I'm still doing the best that I can. She's still being
cautious and still being that good mother that she's been for the last 2 girls.
Yes. How are you coping with the possibility of losing your baby during pregnancy?
We're just enjoying every day with the baby, just making sure that whatever time we have, we're enjoying it and using it wisely.
I know it's kind of hard for some of you guys to understand, because a lot of you guys are like, oh my goodness, like that is so devastating. Like, how are you guys, hanging on? How are you guys staying so positive? Don't really know how to explain it, but we just really are trying to be so positive, and I'm trying not to stress, because I know they say stress during pregnancy isn't good because your baby feels it, and I've just been praying every day, and I've just been looking at every single day as a blessing, just trying to enjoy the time that I do have with our baby.
That, and then I think the people around us as well. We have a lot of good support with our friends out here, and even the ones that have left the island. And then, you guys on our channel.
On YouTube, I've been so supportive.
There's a lot of you guys that, that care for her, and you might not even know her besides her videos. And it makes me happy as her husband, just knowing that she has the support when I'm not here at home. It is really amazing.
Like, there's thousands of people out there praying for our family and praying for our baby. And when I started talking about all of this, I was so scared, and I don't even think I told you, but I was honestly so scared, because I was like, oh my goodness, like, so many people are not gonna understand. I'm gonna get all this negative feedback, and I was so scared. But it's been so amazing how many people have reached out and shared their stories. It's been so amazing how many people are praying and keeping us in our thoughts, and so many of you guys check up on me daily, and we just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you a lot, because even though it might seem like a little gesture to you guys, it's really big for us.
The support from all around is what's keeping us so positive. What's the gender, and how do you feel about everything that's going on? We kind of talked about how we feel about everything going on.
Yeah.
And as for the gender, you're gonna have to wait for that one. Gender canons actually are supposed to come in tomorrow.
Hopefully, because it's killing me she's gonna have to edit a lot.
I am, because he slipped up and he said the gender in this video.
Maybe like 2 or 3 times. So if she's not cautious, you guys might be able to catch it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to really sit down and edit this one. But hopefully those canons do. I really hope they come in tomorrow, because it's been so hard to keep it in. And we actually do have a name picked out already, and I want to share it so bad, and it's killing me keeping it inside. Tia Vicky said, is it a boy or girl, and what's the name of my precious baby nephew or niece? I love all 5 of you. You're gonna have to wait for that one.
Love you, Tia Vicky.
How do you feel about sharing your baby's journey and now making it in a way public? You honestly don't really ever hear about people sharing stories like this, but that's what pushed me to continue sharing my story. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that I've been sharing this pregnancy journey literally since the day I took a pregnancy test. So I felt like I couldn't just cut off my pregnancy updates, and I felt like I couldn't just, I guess you could say, hide everything and just stop talking about the baby. I still want to celebrate the baby and everything, so my updates are going to still continue. Like I said, a lot of women go through situations like this, but they go through it in silence. Not a lot of women talk about it. By sharing our baby's story and by sharing our feelings and thoughts, I feel like I can help other women out there by letting them know they're not alone through this, and it's okay to go through all of the emotions that have been caused because of you breastfeeding so long before finding out you're pregnant. 100% no. This was nothing caused from anything that I was doing. So breastfeeding 100% did not affect the baby. This one says, is he excited that the baby is a boy?
There's no way to tell what the baby is until you guys wait for the next video.
Hopefully it's the next video.
Hopefully.
Are you both afraid about explaining this to the girls when the baby is born? I kind of talked about this in my last vlog. Aurora is 1 year old, so she doesn't understand anything. I don't even think she knows I'm pregnant. With Layla, she is 5, so we did sit down with her and we did explain, but we didn't go into details because we didn't want to scare her or freak her out.
Yeah.
And because she is only 5, like I said, so she doesn't need all the details right now.
Yeah, she doesn't need all the details, but she understands life and death to a certain extent.
Yeah. So what we basically explained was that the doctors think the baby is sick, and there's a possibility that the baby will not be able to come home with us, but the baby will be an angel and the baby will be with God in heaven.
But I think for me, that was the hardest thing I've had to do, is explain to my 5-year-old daughter that her brother or sister isn't coming home. And it sucked a lot, and like she said, all of us cried. And it broke my heart to see. I saw Layla's basically hopes and dreams of her baby brother or sister just crumble in front of her. And being a father, you know, you always want to protect your baby girls. I know there's stuff that I'm not going to be able to protect her from, but she's 5 years old, and for me to have to break the news to her, that so far was the hardest thing I've had to do in my life.
It was. Just the look on her face when we were explaining it to her. I know some people don't really agree. I think I got a few comments that didn't agree with us telling her.
She's
but
gonna
I think
know either way whenever we go to the hospital.
And we don't come home with the baby.
Yeah.
So I think we both agreed on letting her know as soon as possible. Even though she is 5, she still has to grieve. She still has to go through the emotions. She still has to process things. I know your situation is different, but will you have a photographer capture birth? I guess this is one thing that we don't really agree on.
Yeah. She wants to have a photographer there to have those pictures and memories and everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody there, and I don't want it to be fake. And yes, the photographer is probably going to take pictures where we're not paying attention, we're in the moment. But I'd rather have those memories to us and be personal. I'd rather have us personally just do our own pictures and stuff like that. It's not that I don't want pictures, it's just that I don't want a random person in the room while we're going through an experience that is really important to us.
If you make it through your birth, do you want the doctors to do all they can to keep your baby alive as long as possible, or do you want to just enjoy what time you have with your baby without doctor intervention? You guys are so amazingly strong and brave. Thank you.
We don't want the doctor to intervene. Because I know it might sound strange because we keep saying that we want to spend as much time we can with the baby, but I don't want to have the baby stuck to a machine and all these tubes going through it.
And being poked and prodded, and we want every single second as a family. Not a question, but you should get a recording of your baby's heartbeat and put it on a teddy bear. I actually wanted to mention that to you. It'd be really cool, like the girls to have that.
Yeah.
Just wondering if you and your spouse are receiving or will receive any type of counseling.
Right now, we're not taking any counseling, but like she said before in the video, that we don't know how we're gonna grieve or how long it's gonna take us to grieve. So depending on, I mean, who knows? We might not.
We may need it, but I think for right now, we just have so much support that we're doing the best that we can right now. If we do feel like we need to reach out to somebody, we definitely will. Do you know if the baby is suffering now and or will suffer at birth before passing? If the baby is suffering or will, why will you not put it to rest now? There's no way of knowing if the baby is in any pain. Anything you want to say on that one? It's kind of a tough question, huh?
Yeah, it's not really something I can answer.
You guys do a 4D ultrasound if you haven't already to see more clear how baby looks. I kind of did get a 4D ultrasound already. It was at the 12-week ultrasound appointment with the specialist. I'm not sure if I will be offered another one, but my next ultrasound appointment is actually coming up. It's on the 28th.
Has your relationship strengthened in the past few weeks since receiving the news? Yes. I think we've always been close, but we've never really had to deal with something together as far as grieving. I mean, we've lost family members before, but it's, you know, it's always been on one side of the family, and it's kind of been distant relatives.
Yeah.
This is one of our children. This is the closest to home you can get, and it's really hard for us, and that was one of our biggest fears, is falling apart and not being able to be there for each other, to support each other.
I feel like we've been really leaning on each other though.
Yeah, we have.
Like there'll be moments during the day where I'm just so mentally drained where I'll literally just like come up to him and I'll just lay down on him without even saying it. Like he understands.
Times in the middle of the night where maybe I'll wake up and I can't go back to sleep because I'm stuck thinking about things, and I know it sucks, but sometimes I wake her up and she sits there and listens to me, and
even though I'm like half asleep, I'll still try my hardest to listen.
but yeah, she sits there and it's just, she lets me vent. Even if she does fall asleep, I still get most of it out, so.
I don't mean to though.
I know you
so
don't mean to, but I think for the most part we've done a lot over the last couple weeks.
How do you prep for the memorial/funeral?
I think we agreed on doing
Cremation.
Yeah, we wanted to have the baby cremated and have the ashes.
Yeah. I actually had, I reached out to my mom, explained to her that we were leaning towards cremation. I asked her if she could help me because honestly, I didn't want to do the research on my own because I wasn't in the right mindset of doing that research on my own. Have there been any cases where this has happened and the baby lived for longer than expected? Years, months? I know you already said it could be minutes, hours, maybe even a couple days, but I'm hoping that there's a long-term chance for you. I'm so sorry you're going through this, and I hope everyone can maybe stay hopeful about this. I've come across so many moms where their babies have lived for months, and I've even come across mothers whose children are now like 4 years old. That being said, like I said earlier, with HPE there are different forms of it. So with these moms, it just really depends on what form there is. But with our baby specifically, our baby doesn't just have HPE. Our baby has SOMI 13. So our baby has 2 disorders. And I've only come across a handful of mothers whose babies had both of these disorders, and with every single mom that I've come across, all of their babies only lived a couple hours long. Alright guys, so that is all of the questions that we're going to answer. This video is probably really long. We got a lot of, I guess, repeat questions, but if for some reason we didn't get to your question, you can always leave it down below in the comments and I will be more than happy to answer it for you guys. Like I said before, and like we both have said before, I know a lot of people may not agree with our answers. They may not agree with our journey and our decisions and our beliefs, and that is 100% okay. I just want to let you guys know we're very grateful for all of the support that we have received, and despite everything, we're just so blessed. We're just so thankful, and we can't thank you guys enough.